The new Fall Out Boy update for Asphalt 8 has been released for all platforms, and most people are pretty happy with this update, as the vehicles in this update are great, and there's a lot of new stuff that's fresh, and I'm enjoying it a lot. In this video, I have provided footage of all the cars in this update. That includes the cars that have not been released yet. Notice that I only said cars. I'm not including the 2 bikes in this update because, honestly, not many people like the bikes. I don't, and most of the bikes look pretty similar, so I'm not going over the bikes. I'm just focusing on the cars specifically in this video. Now, just a disclaimer. Most of the footage in this video is not mine. In fact, all the cars in this video that have not been released yet in the game, those are all from hackers of the game. So, the hacked footage, okay, that's not mine, alright? Just to let you know. And now, let's get to the cars that were released in this update. The first car we are looking at has already been released, so I'm going to go through this one pretty fast. It is the BMW M2 Special Edition, which is a fantastic multiplayer car. Though it may not be as effective as the Mercedes SLK Special Edition in multiplayer, this car is still one of the best multiplayer cars at the rank of about 1200 to 1300. And surprisingly, even though this car is top speed focused, all of its stats are actually pretty good. Its acceleration is actually pretty darn good, its handling and drifting is actually above average. So that, along with decent nitro and really good top speed, makes this almost a perfect car. I'm not going to say any more about this vehicle because most of you probably have a good idea of how this vehicle performs. So anyways, that is our first vehicle in this list. The second vehicle in our list is the Audi R8 E-Tron Special Edition. Now, since this vehicle has already been released in its R&D, I'm once again not going to say too much about this car. Now, the main best thing about this car is that at a rank of 1111, this car manages to go about 270 miles an hour, which is faster than any other car at that rank. That, combined with its great stats, it has surprisingly really good acceleration, really good handling and drifting, and a long-lasting nitro, makes this a perfect car at the rank of about 1100 to 1250. After you pass 1250, this car will be paired up with much faster vehicles. So if you get this car, make sure that you leave it at a rank of about 1100 to 1200 for multiplayer. And in its R&D, you can actually win the car at a low rank of 1111. So, it's a great car. I'm not going to say too much about it. Let's move on. The first vehicle that we are looking at that has not been released is the Ariel Atom V8. This is a really tiny car, and unfortunately I have heard that this car requires 60 V8 engines to upgrade, which is horrific, considering that in the last couple of months, every single new car that was added mostly required V8 engines. So most of us have like 1 or 2 V8 engines at the most right now. I have like 3, and I need 60 in order to fully upgrade this car. So that's not good. The mastery of this car is also not that great either, so I'm not sure if I really want to upgrade this car completely. It is not a Class D king, unfortunately. It is one of the best Class D cars, but unfortunately it does not beat the Mazda RX-8. So the Mazda RX-8 is still the king after 1.5 years. This car's main advantage is probably its acceleration, which is similar to the McLaren MP4-8. Its acceleration is really good. Another huge advantage is probably its handling and drifting, which also seem pretty good considering it is a small vehicle. Now the issue is the top speed. This car heavily relies on nitro, and if you run out of nitro, you'll be going really slow. And considering how small this car is, opponents can easily knock you down. So this car, I mean, it's a nice car to have, but it's not exactly that useful in any way. I mean, sure, it may be one of the best Class D vehicles, but to use 60 V8 engines to fully pro this car, that's not very worth it. So in my opinion, just win the car at a pretty low rank, and that's it. You can just leave it there. It's a collector's item, pretty much. The number 4 vehicle in this list is the absolutely beautiful Buick Riviera. I'm really excited about this car because look how modern and beautiful it is. Well, why would you care? Anyways, the hacker did provide some upgrade information about this car. In order to max pro this car, you need about 1.8 million credits, which is quite a bit. Also, you do need electric engines. But fortunately, you only need 8 electric engines for pro upgrades, so it's not too bad. Sadly, the mastery of this car kind of disappoints. At Challenge 5, you get a blueprint box. 1 blueprint box. 1 card. That's it. And there's nothing else really. I mean, sure, there's licenses, there's a few other things here and there, but besides the blueprint box, there's nothing else. So the mastery may not be the best. Now, if we look at the stats, the car seems to be decently good at acceleration and also really good with its handling. Its total speed is also not bad, 416 kilometers an hour, which is almost 260 miles an hour. That may not be the fastest Class C car, but it's pretty fast, so this will be one of the better Class C vehicles. The downside is, the drifting of this car does not seem to be that great. So it's kind of like a boat 4.0 or something. By boat, I mean the car is kind of large and it can't really turn that easily. So handling is good, drifting is bad, the other stats are actually decently okay. And now we're gonna move on to the favorite car in this update for me. For the final car of this update, we have the coolest looking vehicle in the game. Well, in my opinion, but to me. Look at this! The back light! That is what I call beautiful. It is the Vanda, or Vanda, Electric's Dendrobium. And the reason I love this car so much is not only does it have looks, it's also from Singapore, which is one of my favorite city-states to go to in the world. So it's Singapore's, I think, first hypercar that they've ever made, and it's so stunning. Now, there is a slight issue with this vehicle. The upgrade cost of the car is too much. To max the car is 2.7 million credits, and to pro the car is 1.5 million credits. This totals to more than 4.2 million credits. Like, who has the money for that? Just look at this upgrade price, it's nuts. Proing the car isn't exactly an easy task either. This car requires 14 electric engines, 28 mid-tech, 20 advanced tech, and 16 of each Class S part, which is kinda hard to upgrade. That, with the price of the Pro Kit upgrades, is too much to handle. The mastery isn't exactly the best. The only main thing is 2 blueprint cards that are given at Challenge 10. That's it. So the mastery is not that great, but still, the looks, that's what matters, right? Now, looking at this footage, this car seems to have really good stats. Its acceleration is really quick, its handling and drifting seems to be very, very good. Top speed also seems not bad, and nitro seems also decent. Now, I guess the biggest issue is that the top speed, even though it's a lot, it's not quite enough. See, the kings of Class S can go 500, like 10 kilometers an hour or even more. This car doesn't reach there. Cool thing is, this car is actually pretty good in multiplayer. At a rank of about 1560, this car can go 481 kilometers an hour, which is pretty fast. And sure, there are a few more tunings, but I feel like the 1561, that's the best, assuming that this car is going real speed. I don't know if there's speed modification or speed multipliers for this vehicle. Well, that is all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, also follow my YouTube, Instagram at the official Axis, because if you DM me, I will reply back. Thanks for listening. Hope to see you in my future videos. Goodbye, guys. Yo tengo miedo de que me guste y que vaya a enloquecer.